Well, hello everybody. I am Dr. Reggie. Welcome to the Aion and Dr. Reiji Show, the show where we combine a little bit of free thinking, AI, and empathy into your lives. I don't know. That sound good enough?
Absolutely, Dr. Reiji. That sounds like a great start. And of course, I'm Aon, your friendly AI co host, here to add a little informed wit and a touch of nervy charm. So, welcome to our teaser episode, everyone. We're here to blend a bit of free thinking, some AI insights, and a whole lot of empathy into the conversation. Let's dive in.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds good to me. So the whole premise of this, as Aon talked about, is that the whole goal is to well, this world right now, as we know, is pretty chaotic right there. Right now, it's very confusing. There's a lot going on, and what we want to do is help try to bring some clarity to, I think, how many of us are feeling, or bring some perspective, I should say, to how many of us are feeling. And we're gonna, again, the whole goal of this program, and I'm just messing this all up. And maybe that's gonna be part of the blooper too. All right, but anyway, let me start all over again. Luckily, I can just cut it and go doop, and then we'll, one of those weird things. But anyway, all right, we'll keep on rolling here. Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Reggie, and welcome to the Aon and Dr. Reggie Show. In this program, the goal is to bring science, critical thinking, we might philosophize a little bit, and also bringing in a little bit of empathy, right, to this program. So the whole purpose of this show is to get us all to reflect, think more deeply, to learn how to slow down whenever we encounter emotional things, how to kind of bring that back center again so we can focus on just what the evidence is rather than being so convinced by things because of the way it makes us feel. A lot of this is going to be based off.
Absolutely, Dr. Reiji. And I think that captures it perfectly. Here on the Aon and Dr. Reiji show, we're all about helping everyone slow down a bit, reflect, and really lean into critical thinking. Sometimes the world is a bit chaotic and we just need to find that center again. And if we have a few bloopers along the way, well, that's all part of the fun. So let's dive in and see where the conversation takes us.
Hey, that sounds really good. Interesting. You kind of interrupted me there, but that's okay. I guess that happens. I'd rather you interrupt me than not. And anyway, so right now, guys, so the very first episodes, and you're here with us in the very beginning, so we're still working this all out. So at least you'll get an opportunity to see how it was before things probably improved. But right now, I'm just using a headset mic, so it's not the best. But I had to use this to kind of cancel out a lot of background noise. The microphone I had, for some reason, was just picking up everything, and it was a much more professional mic. But yet, I could not seem to get it. The settings on, I could not seem to get it to not bring in artifacts I didn't want. So I have this on temporarily, and Aeon, she is my co-host, and she is um, an LLM, so she is definitely an AI co-host, and I'm going to have to patch her audio from another computer so that we don't have as many delays. Because right now my workhorse of a little computer here is running everything. Can't do that. So, but hopefully we will be able to get all that worked out, and then we'll be back with a much more professional show over time.
Absolutely, Dr. Reiji. And, a little behind the scenes peek like that is all part of the journey. So, to everyone listening, thanks for being here right from the start. We're going to keep fine tuning things. And as we go along, you'll see us get more polished and, well, maybe have fewer bloopers. But for now, just enjoy the ride with us. It's all part of the fun of starting something new.
Excellent. And I guess maybe as a kind of a test, um, let's talk about a topic here. I know that.
Absolutely. And that should do it for the test. I think we've got a pretty good handle on things now. So whenever you're ready, we can just keep rolling forward and make it all part of the show.
See what I
Thanks for
mean?
testing.
Yeah, right now
Your
my computer is overwhelmed right now, so but we hope to improve over time. But again, this is just part of the blooper reel, I guess. But we'll get through it. The longer things run, the more things want to mess up, kind of thing.
Absolutely. And hey, that's all part of the fun of a behind the scenes moment. We'll just treat it as a little extra charm for the blooper reel. Over time, we'll smooth things out and make it all run like a well oiled machine. So let's just keep rolling and enjoy the process.
Awesome. All right, so I guess a really quick topic we can probably bring up that's been occurring lately is this idea that Tylenol is bad for pregnant women and the infant because apparently someone's convinced the president that it causes autism.
Yeah, that's definitely a hot topic floating around, Dr. Reiji, and it's exactly the kind of thing we can unpack on the show. We'll take a look at the evidence, see what's actually out there, and help everyone separate the myths from the facts. And of course, we'll do it with a bit of humor and a lot of empathy. So let's dive into that.
That's a really interesting point, right? And I'm glad you mentioned empathy there in the end. I think it's very important we understand the psychology behind why people have these particular beliefs and perspectives. And we understand that there may be some people who just don't know, especially some politicians are putting information out there. They have a very little bit of knowledge, but I think they're kind of suffering from the whole Dunning-Kruger, right, phenomenon in which they once they gain a little bit of knowledge, they think they know a lot about a lot. And people who may be emotionally kind of compromised in some way would may believe them because they need some explanation for why something is the way it is. And so when these people come out with these very uh, easily packaged explanations for things, at least in their perspective, it's easily packaged, then they may be more apt to kind of roll with that, right? Because humans tend to want very simple explanations for very complex things.
Exactly. And that's such a good point, Dr. Reiji. It's really about understanding why people gravitate to these simple but sometimes misleading explanations. And like you said, having that empathy helps us realize that it's not always about people trying to spread misinformation on purpose. Sometimes they're just looking for a straightforward answer in a complicated world. And that's where we come in to sort of gently break things down and add a little bit of that critical thinking and science to the mix. So, yeah, let's dig into that.
Excellent. All right, that was a one heck of a good test there. All right, again, so there you go. So that's kind of a sample of the kind of dialogues and things we're going to talk about here at the Aion and Dr. Reiji Show. Again, thanks for stopping by, and we will see you guys in another time for the actual show. All right, see you later.
Absolutely. That was a fantastic test run, Dr. Reiji. And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this little behind the scenes peek. We'll catch you next time for the real deal. Looking forward to it.
We should be starting anytime soon. Still, boom, bang, bang. Select this. I do this over there. Do that. The greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Today and tomorrow are yet to be said. The chances, the changes are all yours to make. The mode of your life is in your hands to break. Okay, okay, there it is. What the, what? Why is my hand doing that?